Hello, my sweet baby bats. It's my face again. Today we have a wine and dollies. Instead, I don't have wine. I have a Dirly Shirley, I think it's called. We're using Tito's instead of the usual vodka I use. I always get a headache with like one drink, and I was told that Tito's is a little bit better, so that's what we're having today. And it actually tastes really good. It tastes different. I'm not used to that. But we have a lot to talk about. Today is going to be a really long video. I want to have a good time and just chit chat and catch up, basically. I don't want to talk too much about what's been going on. I did I did unprivate 2 videos that I did in the beginning of this year, or maybe it was in June that I posted them. So I do kind of talk about what happened there, and then I talk about what happened last time. So I don't want to spend too much time on that. TLDR, it was a really crazy year for me last year. I am finally able to feel like myself. There's just a lot of things that kind of contributed to this feeling of like not being myself. But now I feel totally different. I'm trying to slow down. I'm trying not to speak so fast because it's going to be a long one, but I can guarantee you at some point we're going to go back to speaking very quickly. But I digress. That's what's been going on in our life. I have a couple of new tattoos here. This one you might have seen. It's upside down. I'm sorry. I can't, like, it can go like that, but this one you guys might have seen. I got it done last October, but it was just the line work. I didn't like it. I didn't like the artist I went to. I gave them a picture of exactly what I wanted, and I specifically said, because Steven drew it for me, I was like, this is what I want, please. This is what I would like. I wasn't that demanding, right? I was like, this is what I would like. And then they asked me to send reference pictures and what have you, and then I had to clarify again, I want exactly this on my arm. Exactly this picture is what I want. But I still sent the reference pictures in case they wanted to like make it their own style a little bit, you know? So I'm like, okay, send the reference pictures. I get in, and they literally traced over the pictures I took of my dogs and put it inside of a coffin design and called it a day. I was dumbfounded. I was like, no, I wanted literally exactly what he drew. The problem was some of the line work, like the roses, were too small. Now I realize this. She never explained it to me. I've only learned after doing not more research, but there's a YouTuber that talks about tattoos and their like commentary, and I started watching them for a little bit. So I learned from YouTube that if the designs are too small, it won't age very well over time. And the way that Steven did it is very much like physical art or paper art. It doesn't really translate well for tattooing. Okay, Miss Tattoo Artist, why couldn't you explain that? So she ended up doing something that I was like, okay, whatever. It was nothing close to what I wanted, and I knew I needed to go to someone else to get it finished. So that one stayed on my body until next June, and I got an artist. I love her to death. I want her to do a couple more. Excuse me, I get really burpy with soda. But I want her to do a couple more pieces. But I love this. This is exactly, I even sent the reference picture of what I was looking for to the first person. I never sent it to the second one, and she nailed it. Like, what the actual fuck? I love it to death. I drove 2.5 hours all the way there, just one way, to get this shit done, because I loved her art. And what I find with tattoo artists is that a lot of them aren't artists first. They just know how to use the gun and know how to trace, which, no shame, I can't even draw, but I definitely need to start looking into people who actually do art. So she does watercolors, she does pastels. She's like an actual artist first and then a tattoo artist, which is why this came out so perfectly. It's in her style. I'm sorry you can't really see because there's like that shadow, but I love it so much. I have gotten a couple of flash tattoos just while I was waiting for this one to be done. But this one's the new one. I got this one 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, something like that. Might have been longer than that. I got it done at the beginning or mid-October. It's Bulbasaur. It's starting to grow on me. I didn't really love how it was looking, but I loved the Bulbasaur and I loved the jasmine flowers there, but I wasn't really loving this part of it, but it is growing on me now. So I love it. I want to do another piece where it kind of brings everything together, but yes, lots of work this past 2 years for my tattoos. That's what some of the things I was doing when I wasn't doing YouTube. Steven came back. We've been adjusting to not only married life, but him being out of the military. So that's something that we've been working on. Yeah, we went to New York in July for a little family gathering. I hated it. Oh my God, I would never want to go back. I think it's nice to look at like pictures of New York, I guess, or like a movie set in New York, daydream about living there, but actually, I don't know. Some people who like love it there, they love the city, they don't know what they would do without the city. I'm like, are you guys okay? Like, do you need help? Because it was so overwhelming. I did not like the experience there. I will rant about this because it pisses me off. The whole tourists don't tip well bullshit pisses me off because I'm somebody who loves tipping very well. I worked in the service industry, so I know that a lot of times it's nice to get a good tip. But if you give bad service because you don't think you're going to get a good tip, then you deserve a bad tip. I gave good tips because I felt guilty, but after the fact, I'm like, you guys went to us once to place an order and then again to get the check. And I'm used to, maybe that's how it usually is, but I'm used to, they check to see if you need drinks and appetizers, come back to see if you're ready to order, come back when your food gets there to make sure everything is like the order was correct, maybe another time in between when you're eating to make sure everything's good, if you want desserts, and then another time for the check. That's a lot of times to stop in, and sometimes it's like, I'm eating, you know, but I'm like, I felt more in those situations. I feel like you guys are giving a service. In the situations in New York, not once did somebody give us good service. We had started to get good service when we tried out this one pizza place, and when they realized that we weren't going to get anything else but the pizza, then they stopped like giving us good service. I don't know. Maybe I'm being a little fastidious, or fajitas as we call it. But yeah, I did not like our trip to New York. I felt like they were, I don't know. The nice parts were going to the museums. I loved going to the museums and the botanical garden and what have you. Those were fun. It was fun to actually spend time with my family. I don't regret the trip, but I definitely would not be going back. Yeah, no. But, let's see. Magic passed away. I don't know if I talked about that in any of my videos that are posted. Magic did pass away last September. I think that kind of was something that had affected me a lot, that made me want to just close off YouTube and just literally everything, because I'm like, I don't know. It was a shock to us. He was perfectly fine 1 week. The next week we take him to the vet because he was like a little off, and then the next week after that, we had to put him down. So that, I don't think I've grieved properly, or not properly, but fully yet for him. I miss him. I have moments where like I'm half asleep, half awake, and I have like this. Do you ever have like you're kind of asleep, you're kind of awake, so you have a dream about like you waking up and you're like, oh wait, that didn't actually happen? I keep having those where he's like nuzzling my neck, kind of when what he used to do when we were getting ready to get up and stuff. So yeah, that's been hard. In the mix of that, so he passed away. We went to New York this year. Steven's back home. And I talked about some other stuff in a different video. And now here we are. Yesterday, 2 days ago, it was Halloween. So, okay, we will talk about dolls, I promise, but I also said that this was going to be a long, chatty video, and believe me, it is going to be a long, chatty video. It was Halloween the other day, for us, for me. For when this gets up, I don't know when it's going to be, but we ended up dressing up 3 different times. We passed out candy and dressed up as Jesse and James. I'm sorry I don't have pictures. I mean, maybe I'll boop pictures here, but I edit on Movie Maker and you can't put a picture over a picture. My laptop won't use anything else for editing, so I'm stuck with that. But we went as Jesse and James to pass out candy. That was an absolute flop. I think 3 people came to get candy and now we're stuck with a bunch. I'm going to send out some care packages to some friends and family so that we can get rid of that candy. That was a flop. I know for next time that people don't do trick-or-treating in our neighborhood. That's totally fine. Usually they don't in like the apartments. They usually go into like the big neighborhoods. We did, but I digress. Then we got dressed up to go to this super cool, like interactive, I call it a glorified art museum. I love that thing. They have a lot of adult events where no kids, just 21 older. They have music, they have different things going on. So we went to that little space for Halloween. My hands feel dry. Dressed as, if you guys seen Descendants, the new one, I don't even know what it's called, but it's like the new generation. They go back in time and you have young Hades and young Maleficent. Steven and I dressed up as them as best as we can. Nobody would have known who we are unless they like really had been obsessed with the movie like I was. But we went there for that event, and then we drove 30 minutes over that way to a vampire ball, which was pretty much empty. I think everybody went during the first half of it and left by the second half, but Steven and I still had a good time. We did take a lot of pictures. We just dressed up as romantic vampires. We went to a vampire ball at the beginning of the year, which was just a nightclub or what have you, but we wore the same thing we wore there then. I did put it on my Instagram, so if you're following me on Instagram, I did put all those pictures up. So yeah, that was fun. We had so much fun. And then the next day, which was yesterday for me, we went to a burlesque show. Loved it. I was surrounded, I kid you not, by boomers everywhere, and maybe a little handful of like millennials and a little bit younger than that maybe, but mostly boomers. I don't know why they were there. They did a poll of who's there for the horror and sexy and who's there for just the sexy, and not even a handful of people were there for the horror, and I'm just like, go watch a regular one. Like, I don't know. I'm not shaming anybody for being there. It's just like, why are there so many boomers? There were so many. But we did that yesterday. It was really fun. Today we just ran some errands. We did finally buy ourselves a freezer for our garage because with the 3 of us, we really need some freezer space. So just running errands for today. But now that we're caught up, hopefully it's not 20 minutes of this and it's actually a lot less. I don't know. But that's been my life for the past couple of weeks and months and what have you. Now I'm here and I want to talk about dolls. Starting with her. Because I feel like I keep saying we'll talk about her more later, and later is now. So, this is Salem. I'm warning you guys, it's going to be a long one. Grab something cozy to sip on, grab a blanket. I know it's a bit cold over here, at least where we're at. Get yourself comfy. We're going to be talking. So, this is Salem. She's a with doll, battle maid Olivia. This girl was the first doll I saw being back into the BJD hobby. So, I'm just gonna assume if you're watching this video, you might not have seen my older videos or you forgot, so I'm not gonna keep saying if you remember, hopefully. But I got into the hobby, I want to say 2017, 2018. I got introduced to the hobby. But I didn't quite get into it until I believe it was 2022. I finally bit the bullet and bought my first BJD, which is Julian, actually. But before I even bought one, I saw this beauty. Now there's two of them. There's Olivia and there's another one. I don't remember what the other name is, but there are two versions of them, and I saw the two of them. And I loved them, but they were limited edition and sold out. So in my mind, I don't really like to hold my breath for something. If something's sold out, if it's limited edition, I'm like, okay, whatever, and I move on from that, right? So I saw this doll. It was sold out, and I was like, all right, let me find somebody else. Well, I did find somebody else, and I bought her almost instantly. I found her at Jane's Dollland. It was an in-stock doll, so it was gonna be shipped right away. I was gonna get it. I think I got it the next week or something like that. But it was a teeny fox Ashley, I think. You know what? I have my tablet here. Let me make sure I'm giving you the right names. So I know I'm on AliExpress right now, but that's where I can find the pictures. I bought this beauty. This was the Teeny Fox Ashley doll that I ended up buying at Jane's Dollland in stock, and I got it the next week. If you look at her, right? Let me see if I can reopen this. If you have a look at her and you have a look at Salem side by side, they look so similar. They look like they were basically the same doll, right? Again, I know I'm on AliExpress. It's just to show the pictures. But, yeah, they looked so similar. And when I saw the Teeny Fox Ashley, I was like, I need to have her because she's almost like the battle maid that I couldn't get. So I brought her home. I didn't realize that she was a vinyl doll, even though it did say that on the website. It was my fault completely not knowing that it was vinyl. I did know the vinyl dolls tend to stain. I didn't realize how badly and how quickly they stained. So after about 2 or 3 weeks of having that Ashley doll, I was ready to get rid of it. It was stained. I couldn't figure out how to keep the head on, and every time I grabbed the head, it would just come off. It was like a twist lock situation, but it wasn't twisting or locking properly. So I ended up selling the doll just by itself, and I kept the clothes because by that point I had a character named Salem that was a part of Julian's vampire story. So I hadn't had the character super fleshed out like I do now, but there was a character in place, and the idea was that I was going to get a different doll, use the clothes, and continue the saga of Salem, right? Well, that was around November, I'm gonna say. Maybe not exactly November, but I know by November she was gone. And I was looking at so many different dolls. There were some that I was like, ooh, she would be perfect. There were a lot from the Miu line that I really liked, but none that I bought. I never pulled the trigger on it. Come spring of the next year, I randomly went on I randomly went on Instagram. So I banned myself from Instagram for a little bit at this time because I have a really bad doom scrolling problem. but I decided just to have a little sneak peek, and that's when I found the announcement from With Doll that they were going to be re-releasing these two for the last time. And when I went there, they had her, so I bought her. Now, I had seen that they re-released her a couple times before that, but I was always too late. I never was able to snag her until that last time. I was not late. I finally grabbed her. I put her on layaway, and to this day, it's kind of like ironic, like my little ironic story that she's the first doll I saw for this character, but had to give up. Found another doll, created a full character, and then bought the original one that I saw. I don't know. It's really, I don't know. I find it a little bit charming in a way, but I don't regret that I did that, because 100%, if I hadn't gotten that Teeny Fox Ashley doll, I don't think I would have had a character. It wasn't until I brought the Teeny Fox doll home that I came up with a character name and a better story for it, and it has evolved since, but yeah, I really like where it's gone here. Olivia is a battle maid, right? But the Ashley doll was a battle nun, and it wasn't until I got that Ashley doll where I was like, actually, I kind of like the nun idea, like vampire hunter nuns situation, right? So now we have beautiful, beautiful Salem. Oh, I love her to death. I ended up getting her full set when I purchased her, and she's kind of mixed with her full set and the Ashley. So like the socks and the shoes were from her set. She has this harness on. You can't really tell, but she has this little harness on that was from her set. There's a necklace that's from the Ashley set, and then a necklace that's from the set I got from her. So it's a mix mash of all of them. And I love how they came out. They look like a freaking anime doll in a way. But yeah, I really like Salem. Her story is coming together. I still don't know exactly how she's going to end up going into the battle, because she's sent off to kill Julian basically, but I'm not sure if she's going to be sent out alone or with a friend. Not sure. Everything after that I have it pretty set up, but that's Salem, and I'm so happy that I have her. She's beautiful. I just love her. The one thing I want to do is the Ashley doll had like a little cross situation on her forehead. I want to get that done for Salem here for this doll. I don't know when or how or whatever. She's getting all over the place. I don't know when, how, what have you, that I'm gonna get that done, but that's an idea for her. So Salem is a character from Julian's story. She is sent out to kill Julian, and after a battle where she's left to near death, Julian ends up taking her back to his mansion and trying to bring her to life, or not bring her to life, but heal her back to life, which is very not in character of the vampires. And there's this whole story. I know I said I wanted this to be chatty, but I don't know if I want to sit and talk about her story per se. I don't know. Maybe I will. I'll put her down though. Why don't I put her right here with the boys for a minute? Oh, you can't even see her. Well, she's off to the side. Salem's story is that she's sent out to kill Julian, but again, she failed at it basically, but he didn't kill her off. He ends up taking her to his mansion. There they start to get a friendship going. Think Beauty and the Beast, I guess. But there's so much more story to it. I don't even know how to start it off. But she's a part of a battle battle nun academy situation. Sorry, my little goat lost his head and now I'm distracted. But she's a part of these battle nuns that go out to destroy the evil monsters and the vampires and what have you. She's never been sent on the mission. I was thinking earlier this week that the cause of her not being sent on a mission could be because her ancestry had in some way betrayed the nuns, so they are hesitant to send her out. They don't say anything. It's been a whole secret. She has not she doesn't have any idea that they're purposefully doing that. They tell her that, oh, we need you here for the kiddos, you know, to teach them the ways, because she's very smart. She's very she takes her job very seriously. If it wasn't the ancestry problem, they probably would put her on almost all the missions. Her dream is to become an elite sister, which is like the higher up there sisters, but you have to be on a particular amount of missions to do that, but she's never been on a mission before. So they finally send her out on this mission. I'm not sure what their reasoning is. I'm thinking this is the same mission or a similar mission to the one that her ancestors would have done and betrayed them at. So maybe this was like a trial to see if she would do the same. If she goes with somebody to do it, the person she goes with doesn't get hurt, goes back to the sisters, but by the time she gets there, they're like, oh, you guys must have done your job because there's no more terror going on. So the person who went along with Salem knows Salem is dead, but also believes that the vampire is also dead. So she's like, okay, cool. And then I think maybe the sisters will go out there, find out that the vampire is not dead, and then there's a huge battle, and Salem has to pick between finishing the job and going along with the sisters or fighting alongside Julian. Now, while she's with Julian, she's going to learn a lot of things. You know, the like stereotypical story where the person who thinks they're doing good finds out that they're actually doing bad, and the bad guys are actually just trying to live their life kind of situation until these people come in ruining everything. It's a similar story to that. She's going to learn a lot about what the sisterhood has done to the vampires and how the vampires view the sisterhood as these scary tyrant kind of people, killing them for no other reason but killing them. I do have this storyline where Julian, he has a whole nother storyline. He was born a bastard child to a maid and another like high-end vampire. He didn't end up becoming a vampire at first, but because of the situation, the lord and lady of the house that the maid was a part of ends up taking the baby as her own, and because she couldn't have babies, so they're like, okay, Julian was actually mine, you know, because he has the same blood as the dad. Basically, it's the brother who ended up doing things to the maid. But Julian was getting too attached to the maid. I mean, the maid was the one taking care of the child, right? So he started getting an attachment, which made the mom jealous, because the mom knew that the attachment he was growing was the one to his biological mom. Nobody else knew except the adopted parents, but, you know, jealousy ends up making the maid have to go away. So I'm thinking that this maid is actually a descendant from Salem, which will give a reason to Julian not killing her. I'm thinking that maybe Julian found that she looked very similar to this maid that he grew very attached to. Something like that. I know this is so chaotic. It's all over the place. I'm trying my best to share this story. But there's so much more to Julian's part of the story. I guess I don't want to really spoil it too much, but that's the gist of it, is that, you know, Salem and Julian actually have a connection. They don't realize they have a connection, and Salem ends up learning more about the sisterhood than they were leading on. So yeah, that's their story. Again, all over the place, but there we go. There we are. Their story. I do want to talk about these boys right here. They don't really have a story. I've said this before. They don't have a set story. They just have personalities and kind of a story, like their background, their backstory per se. But let me introduce you to this guy, because I haven't really talked about him ever, I don't think. But I'm gonna take his wig off for a second, so don't mind the look. But this is the... Oh, what are you? Oh my god, Mango? What is it? Mango doll, maybe? I don't know. I don't remember. It's an independent artist. I'm sorry. I'm bad at this. But it's a cyber owl. And his face comes off. And it shows a little bit of, like, robot-y situation going on. Oh, I forgot I put that on. Little putty to keep his mouth on. I forgot that was a situation I did. But, he's a cyber situation, half robot, half human. He's Steven's first BJD, and Steven was creating a story for him. Sorry, I'm not looking. I'm trying to fix this up. Steven was trying to make a story for him, but I can tell he wasn't really invested. Like, when he gets invested in something, he's invested, and if he doesn't really care for it, he, like, doesn't really care for it. I don't know how much else to say. Like, he'll put zero effort into it. There's no a little bit of effort. So I can tell he wasn't drawn to this character as much as I've tried to have him really created as his own, and me having no say in it and what have you. But it didn't work out. He was put to the side, unloved, given clothes that didn't really fit him, didn't really give him a personality or what have you. And then we finally decided, or finally realized, that he could be Zane, which is also from the ninja show that Cole and Kai are from. And he fell in love with that idea. I'm having a hard time with this. But his color scheme is like an icy blue, so that's kind of why he's in like jeans and white, what have you. We need to give him a new wig. I do not like how this bowl cut wig looks, but it'll probably be the same kind of blonde color. So yeah, so this is finally Zane. We have robot parts for his like arms and what have you. He's not my favorite doll. If we're talking about like doll, like the actual dolls, I can't pose his hands. Like, his hand won't go like this because it's too tight, and I know I can fix that. This one won't stay turned around. He's a difficult one to deal with. I had to put putty in his mouth guard part because it just kept falling off. He's not my favorite doll. I mean, at least he stays up. I know Julian keeps falling over and stuff, but like, his hands, I can't even turn his hand this way at all. I can put his hand like that, that's cool. I cannot put it like this. I don't know. It's a whole situation with his hands that's bothering me. It's the string, it's too tight. But I haven't really been enjoying the doll hobby, honestly, because of all the stuff that's been going on. I'm trying to enjoy it now, so maybe I'll start putting down a list of the projects I want to do. But that's Zane. His story, he doesn't really have a backstory so far. In the show, he is built by a scientist that lived alone on in a tower in the middle of the ocean. Maybe that's the same story. I don't know. It's Steven's BJD, so he has to decide how he wants that storyline to go. But he's a part of the trio here. I don't think he's gonna live with them. I think he's gonna have like his own story going on. They are gonna be good friends and what have you. They've grown up together, but other than that, I don't really know where his storyline is going. But we do have him. He's actually a character. In the future, I do want to buy some more clothes for the three of them. I am so... Okay, this might sound a little silly to some people, but I used to love these two. I almost said three, but that was Steven's BJD. I used to love these two. Kai was my everything, right? And then I got Cole. I was holding my breath to get him. Finally got a doll for him. Brought him in, and the problems I'm having with the wigs have made me not really enjoy how they're coming out. His wig, oh my god. It's so messed up and tattered and old. It's not supposed to look like this. It's supposed to look like your typical Korean hairstyle situation. But it didn't come styled. Obviously, most wigs don't come styled, but I have failed to figure out how to style his, and I don't love it. I don't hate it. His is the best out of everyone else's, but it's getting so tattered and messy. When I take a picture, there's a flyaway somewhere. Yeah, I don't love his wig. Again, it is the best out of everyone else's wig. If we're not counting Salem, who came with her wig, and it fits perfectly. But yeah, I definitely need to get a new one. He has like the atypical spiky anime hairstyle in the show, and I wanted to do something like similar to that, like more real life, and get him like big hair, energy going on, but it's not working. It's not working. I am having a very hard time figuring out how to style these. I will put glue or hairspray in them, and then they just break down for some reason. They don't stay. So I gotta figure out how to style his. Again, I will say it for the third or fourth time. His is the best out of all of their hair. But still, I absolutely hate it. Then you have Cole's. Cole looks like Coconut Head from Ned's Declassified. And I hate it. I don't like these bowl cut styles. I don't know why all the wigs come like that. I've tried my hardest to try to style it. I haven't really done any cutting on it. I've cut Julian's wig and messed it up so badly. I never want to try to cut a wig again. But this, I hate how it looks. It doesn't feel like him. I feel like all it needs to do is go straight down. If it went straight down like that instead of curving in like that side, it would be perfect for him. But I can't get it to do that. I hate this wig. I hate it so much. Poor Cole. Poor Cole. I feel like so the only way this could work is if I got some type of hat or beanie that fit him, so that it kind of presses his hair down. I'm trying to see if you can see that. Kind of presses his hair down and then makes it not look like a bowl cut. If I can find that, then his wig would be perfect. But also I don't want to put him in a hat all day long. So things that I'm learning, things that I'm trying to figure out and not doing very well with, but I'm trying. And then I'm tired of these dolls right now. You saw Zane's hair. His is the worst kind of bowl cut ever. It's just they look so dated. Do you guys remember, maybe it's just an American thing, but the haircut places that had like the black and white drawn haircuts that were from like the 90s or what have you, the 80s? That's what these guys remind me of, and I hate it. And I just want to find a wig that looks nice. Maybe I have to spend a pretty penny to get that. I don't know. But with that being said, I don't think I ever finished my thought because of how bad their wigs are, I can't fully enjoy them. I'm not gonna lie, I can't fully enjoy them. I just pictures are the last thing I want to take with these guys because I love their outfits, I love the props I have for them, but then their hair ruins everything. Their hair ruins freaking everything. Okay, I know I said I wasn't going to show you guys until they came in, but if you made it this far, I want to give you a little bit of a treat, especially if you kept up with all the rambling. Love you guys to death. But this is the beautiful duo that Steven and I bought a few months back. I believe we got it in September. I think September. August, sorry. I forgot there was a month in between July and September. But we got this back in August. And yeah, I absolutely love them to death. We got the full set minus the, oh no, go back. Minus the horns, I think. I don't think we got the horns. I could double check actually, let's see. We only got the clothes and shoes. We did not get the horns for this. I really liked that they like kind of matched. I want to use these two apart with these outfits for the vampire story, but my hope is that we can also kind of use them a part of their story, make them a little bit more modern, so they kind of have a two character in one situation. So yes, those are the dolls we have on layaway right now. I'm super excited for them. It was my last hope to like get back into the hobby full blown. I don't know what I'm trying to say. It didn't work. I'm gonna tell you that. I'm gonna be 100% honest. It didn't really work. I still got out of it, but I hope that being back here making videos will help me in some way, shape, or form get back into the hobby. I think that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you for sitting around and having a little chit chat. I have not finished my little juicy juice here, but I hope you blossom in all of your endeavors, and until next time, bye!